Next will be Mr. Eric Lovestrand, Office Director.
You know what I'm saying, that, you know, that phone call that you get countywide when we got I don't ever get no phone call.
You live too far in the woods.
Too far in the woods, yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I hope this goes quicker than the last couple of items.
You have anything for the board this morning?
I do have one item for your consideration, if it pleases the board, that you might take some action on today. And it relates to our ongoing efforts to try to utilize the funding that the legislature appropriated for the extension facility establishment here in the county. And when the price tag got too high on the initial project that we were working on, I actually took some initiative and sat down with staff from the city of Apalachicola so I could talk with them about the potential for their harbor master's house, which is located in the city marina here in Appalach. And initial discussion indicated that they were quite interested, actually, in talking with the county about a possible collaboration there. And the reason is that they have a building that is in need of some repairs and renovations and some updates. They don't have the budget to do that, and we do have a budget that it's within the realm of that budget to actually accomplish what is needed in that building. And the early indication that I got from the city was that they were interested in possibly leasing that facility to us for $0, basically, so that somebody could cover the costs of getting those repairs done on that building and move in and occupy that building. So, of course, you can imagine that the terms of that lease and the length of that lease, that's where the devil is in the details. And at this point, I'm just basically interested in asking for some time from the county attorney to be able to sit down and talk about drafting an MOU that this board could consider at a later time before it moves beyond that point, but to discuss some of the terms and possibilities there that could be worked into that agreement. We did include some information in your packets this time. I don't know how you didn't have those too far before this meeting, I know, so if you have some questions about that, we could talk about it. But basically, I just want to see if we can move it to that next step of having something for you to consider that has detail in it.
The timeline is, Commissioners, this money was appropriated last legislative session. It is in trust in the Department of Agriculture right now on behalf of Franklin County for a new EOC or a renovated EOC, and the Department of Ag will activate a new sub-grant agreement because the initial one was going to go to the University of Florida. The University of Florida, as sort of the occupier of this, is backed out of it. So if you all are interested in receiving that money, it's about $180,000 to do the renovations on this building, then we just need to make sure that the building, that we have an agreement with the city, because then we'll go to the Department of Ag, and they will issue a sub-grant agreement. I've already spoken to them. They'll issue a sub-grant agreement. They just need to have something by December. That was their timeline. They just need to have a sub-grant agreement in place where they know the money's going to be spent. And then we have until, and I think I told you a date before, I think June 30th of 2000.
I think if we're started in the process, I think they would allow some extension of those funds.
But we have to, they really want something, they want to be able to have the money tied up before the end of this year.
That's right.
Alan, we did have an architect look at this building. Are we going to be able to fix the building within budget?
Yes.
Or do we know?
Yeah, no, we know.
Yes.
He gave estimates of about $100,000 for costs for all the repairs, and there's $180,000 available for the project.
Which would help us put equipment that he needs and stuff like that in their computers and stuff to outfit the building.
Right, right. The cost that the architect gave us was their best estimate for the repairs that we thought were necessary to actually fix that building and renovate it and upgrade the basic cosmetic things that need to be done. That does not include any potential permit fees, which would probably be minimal. Also doesn't include architectural or engineering professional fees to get the construction drawings done that would need to be done. But again, I think there's plenty of buffer there to be able to do that, and also purchase furniture that's needed to outfit the building for meeting spaces and get it to where it would be a very practical and functional facility for the extension office.
Mr. Chairman, if I may ask Alan a question. The very good question was just raised by Mr. Lovestrand. The devil's in the details.
Right.
Is there a recommendation from you or for the term of this lease for putting in $180,000 worth of renovations?
Because I want the longer the better. You know, this is I'm proud and glad to receive legislative money, And I don't want to have a 10-year lease from the city of Apalachicola, then at the end of 10 years say, well, that's all you get, and they get a building that's had $180,000 worth of repairs. So I want at least, my recommendation is at least 25 years or maybe 50 years. I want this building to be available to the public and the the IFAS service for as long as we can get them. So, yeah, the longer the better as far as I'm concerned.
I've got concerns about this. This is the first time I saw this. I didn't know anything about it. And right here it says, if the county invests the same sum, if the county does this, I'm kind of concerned. I mean, we need more particulars about this, and I don't know how much more particulars we can get. But have you saw this proposal yet?
This specifically, no, Commissioner, I knew there was a discussion in general about the potential of using those grant funds there. And I was also aware that the architect had come in somewhere around $100,000, but I haven't seen the specifics I wasn't even aware this was coming up this morning.
I'm concerned with going in a lease with the city of Apalachicola if it's not for a guaranteed specific time.
Right, and I think that's what Mr. Love, I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't mean no harm, but that's my thought. Right now, just seeing that face value, right now, it kind of concerns me.
I think that's what he's asking for this morning is for us to direct the attorney to work with him to find
Yeah.
out the terms of this
Yeah.
lease
And
before
then
we
bring it
invest
back.
in
Yeah.
it.
Well, for the county to make their proposal.
Before
That
we
would be
make
acceptable
any
to
kind of
the board.
recommendation, we're gonna have
Right.
to do that.
Right, and that's
Right.
why I was asking some directions from Alan, recommendation from Alan, and some directions from the board. What type of a lease term do you want me to be, assuming you authorized me to have the discussions? I mean, Alan said 50 years, he said 25 years. I mean, how does the board feel about
I would
that?
say the longer the better.
And we need that put in the form of a motion directing our attorney
Yeah.
to take care of that.
Question,
Yes, sir.
is you gonna be the only one in that building?
That's what I would suggest would be the recommendation, yes.
Right now,
Currently,
the city has a tenant in that building. That's my position. That's a city's responsibility to get the tenant out of there. So yes, if we're gonna spend all this money, we wanna have total control of the building, and we'd be the only occupant, yes.
I mean, you know, $180,000, couldn't you build a building? On some
No,
of the
sir.
town, put it on the county land?
I don't believe so. We've talked with the architect about some other options, and
Not for the square footage of the building he's getting here.
this building's about 2,700 square feet total square footage, including that upstairs space. So it's a good-sized building. It's got 3 offices on each side, actually 4 offices on each side of that building. It's got space, and it's got the possibility for actually opening up a larger room for a nice-sized meeting space and conference room there. It's got what we need in terms of space to be able to build and grow this extension program a little bit into the future.
Well, you can got the crawl before you walk sometime. You can build a building and add on to it that the people give us money.
Well, we talked about some other potential property that the county does own and what it would cost to put a facility there that would be sufficient to be able to get into and work from. And the architect's opinion was probably,
To build a new building, I'll be honest with you, the alternate for this money, the most likely alternate use for this money would be to go back to the armory and finish space in the armory, the big extension back in the armory. And I'll just use a complaint, the position the University of Florida has is that we would be going back to a much smaller space. It's not adequate. Our offices are all separated over that building. And the university does not want to go back to the armory if at all possible. But that's where we'd head, because the $180,000 is not enough money to build and design a brand-new building. The construction costs are now about $200 a square foot for construction of commercial buildings and the kind of stuff that he needs.
So you're talking about $500,000?
Yes, for a building the same size, that's correct, as a harbor master house.
Mr. Chairman?
It ain't got to be the same size as all the time.
Commissioner, I agree, but they want that size.
Well, you have to get what you pay for. And the thing about it is, sometimes you gotta scale down what you want.
Attorney, have a comment?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just some more clarification maybe from Eric and from Alan. Are we talking about an exclusive use for IFAS, or would it be IFAS co-located potentially in the future with other county needs for office space?
Well, the grant, the $180,000 from the legislature was for IFAS. So the improvements are going to have to be dedicated to space that IFAS uses. Now, IFAS is a sub-part of the lease will be with the county. So, I mean, the county's going to have the lease of building, but I don't know that we can say, the legislature gave money for IFAS, not for any of the county buildings.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Chairman,
Mm-hmm.
$180,000 would build a building.
That's my point. Well, you would build a building of a certain size. I'm not disputing that, just not the size of what he's got there.
Well, that's why I said he may not be able to get what he wants to start with.
And I'm not,
Build it
yeah,
where you can add on to it. But what I'm trying to say is I'm concerned with going into the lease with the city of Apalachicola and all, and putting that kind of money into it and giving the responsibility to the county. I mean, I'm concerned about it. Maybe nobody else is, but I'm concerned about it.
You better be, because those slick Joe's gonna get it.
Well, it would be the pleasure of this board to approve anything that would go to that next step, you know? So you would have to agree with the terms, and it would be what you would think would be acceptable.
I think it would be appropriate to direct the attorney to go into, find out exactly what kind of contract we would have and negotiate with the city to, and bring that information back to the board before we make a decision whether we want to spend money or we don't want to.
You want to do a motion, you want me to do a motion on
Somebody
that?
has to, yes.
I don't have no problem with the attorney going and doing that and coming back before we say any more, going back and finding out the terms of the lease and all that, and bring it back to us at the next board meeting, Mr. Shearer. That's my motion,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Sanders. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? The motion carries. Is that what you wanted, Mr. Eric?
Yes, sir, thank you very much, appreciate it, board.
Anything else for the board this morning?
I have something for
Okay.
Eric. Eric, at the last board meeting, you were here and you informed us on the chemicals that Duke Energy was wanting to spray on the herbicides and all that, and we were concerned about it. Did you ever get the information to Mr. Morone to where he could pass that off to Duke Energy?
I still have not made contact with the folks up at the REC. I put out some feelers there, and they haven't gotten back with me, but I need to, I guess, push
Need to
that
follow
issue with
up.
them.
Need to follow up
Yeah.
because they're coming in the county. I see they're wanting to try to do some of that stuff and,
The last 2 quarters of the year.
yeah.
So I don't know if the county has been able to communicate with the other counties. That was another part of that, I guess, as well.
Well, no, but actually, no, Eric, what I'm waiting for is, once you give me the information, I'm gonna use that as leverage.
Okay.
To kind of
Okay.
draw the other counties into it, and then we send letters to Duke.
Okay, so I will sit down with you then and
Okay.
put together what you think you need to have in a letter.
Thank you, Eric.
Any other
Yes, ma'am.
comments from the board to Mr. Eric? Thank you for coming in this morning, Eric.
Appreciate it.
Next will be Ms. Lisa Lance, Library Director.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm going to be short and sweet so we have no
Come on.
more longevity. We do have an adult gardening program today at Carabel at 1:30, and it's on pruning techniques. I also want to thank Brad Rhodes with Melodyne and some others that actually is in support of our MSL program, the Music Second Language program in Rock by the Sea. They actually, while they were in town last week, stopped by the library and met with a couple of the students this semester. So that was an enjoyable time for them. We added a new volunteer in April at our Carabel location. This person is also assisting us with our summer reading program. We also have another volunteer that from East Point has transferred over to Carabel because she's relocated to that area, and she is spending the month of May with us there, and hopefully will continue afterwards. Our summer reading program begins June 14th. We're having a kickoff event at 10:30 that morning. That's Flag Day. We are installing a new flag. Ours has been battered and beat and was torn down by the wind. And we do have the rope in that, and we are having a donated flag from Woodman. I'm also working with them hopefully to get a donation for our East Point location so we can actually fly a flag there also. We have our summer reading program is June 14th through July 28th. We have 5 weeks of performances that's going to be going on with groups like Animal Tales. We have a Doodads. He works with, he's got a lot of science and engineering projects that correlate with our STEM program. We have the Tampa Taiko Japanese drumming group that will be our finale. Throughout those 8 weeks, we also have each Wednesday, we will have a program for the kids at each location. They each have their own theme centered around Build a Better World. We have an additional STEAM 2 program that's coming soon, and that's going to be specifically for ages 5 to 7. We already have one for ages 8 to 12. I did attend the FLA conference last week in Orlando. That was my first event there. It was a good resource and a good networking time to learn more of resources that I can bring into the FCPL group, also for adult education. We've got some grants that we can actually get through the state that can assist with actually receiving their high school diploma if they don't want to actually go for a GED. It's a commitment on the individual, but it is a great program that I look forward to getting with the state on. The Friends of the Library hosted Cinco de Mayo on May 5th. The weather was not cooperating too much with the wind, but they did raise approximately $1,000, and we appreciate the Friends of the Library and all the work that went into that and all those that came out and enjoyed that. I have a meeting scheduled tomorrow with the school, so I'm hoping, hopefully we're going to be able to open those doors and work with the reading coach for our summer reading program also and keep these kids in the path of their literacy. I am happy to announce we did finally receive our state grant check of $74,000 that has been deposited. So, and in a couple months, we're going to be working on the next year's state funding to receive. So, and that's all I have.
I'll put your rope up tomorrow.
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
I just had to get one of my inmates to climb the ladder.
Oh, okay. Better him than me.
We'll put it up tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you all.
Real quick, I'd like to state, reading your report here where it says you've got a East Point volunteer that's moved over to Carabel, helping Carabel out. That is excellent for our library system. It's exactly what the board wanted when we hired you.
Yeah, she relocated to
It's not
Atlanta.
East Point, it's not Carabel, it's the Franklin County Library System.
Right.
And whatever it takes to make that system work, then that's what we need to do. You're doing an excellent job at that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming in this morning.
You're welcome. Appreciate it.
Okay, Mike, was there somebody else that I'm missing here that needed to get in and out quick this morning?
No, I think we're doing.
Okay, we're moving along? Okay. Next will be Mr. Kurt Blair, TDC report.
Commissioner Kurt called me, he's sick, he's probably the same or worse than Alan right now, so he's not feeling well this morning. His report is in your packet, any questions? I can reschedule him to the first meeting in June, or wait until the second meeting in June as he normally appears.
Do you have any action items on his report that he needs?
No, he did not.
I didn't think so.
Actually.
On up, next will be Mr. Mike Cooper.
Mr. Cooper sent you guys an email yesterday explaining why he, was it yesterday, why he could not attend today's meeting. The reason, because of the reason, I'll just leave it at that, Commissioners. Now, I will tell you this. I got a call from him this morning. CHC actually made the request for that, all those reports and that data Monday of last week. I think they had all the reports finished by Friday of last week, but it was not, due to a technical issue, it was not uploaded until yesterday. I got a call from Mr. Cooper this morning saying that he got a call from CHC saying they started to look at the data and they probably will be here the week after Memorial Day. They'll be here the entire week from Tuesday to Friday. They'll probably have 6 of their staff people here, not all at the same time, but during different days of that week to do the sit-down part of the analysis with Weems Memorial. And again, I could reschedule Mr. Cooper to the first meeting in June, which he usually comes. By then, you'll have a whole set of new information because by then they would have had a hospital board meeting. There'll be new minutes, new financial information, et cetera. And that's what I'll probably do, unless the board has some reason for me not to do that.
Okay. Next will be Mr. Rick Moore, senior citizen, Carabel discussion. He's not
I think that's
here.
Mr. Moore.
Would you come forward, state your name for the record, please?
And while he's on his way, I'm going to read item number 4 from my report, Commissioners. Inform the board that Ms. Lisa Bress of Area Agency on Aging and Mr. Rick Moore and Ms. Kathana Parmenas of the Franklin County Senior Center and I participated in a conference call on Tuesday, May 9th. During this call, we discussed how to improve communication between the 2 agencies, and Ms. Brett explained what additional information was needed from the center so that they could receive funding. I reminded both parties that the board provided this funding to Area Agency on Aging for 2 specific purposes. First, to provide meals to as many homebound Franklin County senior citizens as possible, and to provide the match funding for health and personal services for these same seniors. Mr. Moore is here today to address the board. Ms. Bretz will be at your June 6th meeting. Mr. Moore, good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name for the record.
Sorry.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am Rick Moore, President of the Board of the Franklin County Senior Center over in Carabel. I want to thank you for the opportunity to come and talk a little bit about the Senior Center. I want to especially thank Mr. Marone, who I'd never met until today, for helping us to resolve some communication issues that we had with Area Agency on Aging in Tallahassee last week. And what I just gave him was the outcome of that conversation. They had requested some information from us, and we'd sent that on to them, and I gave him his copy. We're hoping that things will move along much better now than it has been as a result of what he has done. By the way, I live on Lighthouse Road, which I think puts me in Mr. Massey's district.
Yes, sir.
So what do we do over at the Senior Center? I find that there's some misinformation out there about what all we do and why we do what we do. We all know that we can't be all people. Now, there are some groups and agencies out there that deal with the senior populations in different ways. Some people provide Meals on Wheels. Some people provide in-home health care services, which you folks, apparently that's your focus of your interest here. What we do is provide services to active senior citizens. To us, a senior citizen is 50 or older. For the purposes of AAA, all the information we're providing them is for our people that are 60 or over. And I can tell you that there are a lot more people that are 70 and over that participate over there than there are 50 and over. I guess they're all 50 and over, but the point is that most of our folks are in the 70-year-old age or older. The Older Americans Act, which is a federal law, goes into some detail talking about the benefits of providing services to senior citizens, active senior citizens. And in a nutshell, these things boil down to things like better emotional health, better physical health, and I'll get into a little bit more of some of the activities that we have that you can see that they do get some physical activity. The point is, just because you're 70 years old or so doesn't mean, and you're up and about, doesn't mean that you can't benefit from these type of services. An awful lot of folks, our folks, have lost a spouse. It goes along with the territory, goes along with the age. And depression rates are very high amongst that population. And one of the cures for that, we're told, is that get out and about, associate with people, anything rather than stay at home, sit on the couch, be blue, be down, get out and get about. And we provide an incentive and an opportunity for those kinds of people to do those things. We currently offer 13 different activities, everything from line dancing to senior tennis, and those are sometimes real balls of fire out there, but they're up and about and being active. We have a pool table. Some people come in and play pool, canasta. The point is that you don't have to be involved in extreme activities, as socialization is a big part of this whole health issue situation. Being around other people, conversing, and makes for a better, healthier person. We are open Monday through Friday. volunteers keep the doors open. We have no paid staff. The only folks that get paid over there, we have a retired chef that comes in. We do a lunch on Thursdays. This lady comes in and for near minimum wages, spends a few hours a week coming up with menus, grocery shopping list, and preparing the food. The other person that gets paid is a cleaning lady that comes in once a week, again for near minimum wage reimbursement, and cleans the place once a week. But otherwise, it's all volunteer. There are no paid staff over there. We accumulate about 400 volunteered hours per month. That results in well over 10,000 participant hours per year. So what's a participant hour? That sounds fine. If Commissioner Massey came in and played pool for an hour, that's one participant hour. If Ms. Sanders came in and got involved in the fiber arts folks, that's crocheting and knitting and that sort of thing, for a couple of hours, those ladies sit around and enjoy life and do their thing with whatever they're into. They might even gossip a little bit along the way. But that would be, if you were there for 2 hours, that's 2 participant hours. The point is that to get over 10,000 of these in a year, that indicates a lot of activities and a lot of participants to run up those kind of numbers. And I might add that no agency or group that I'm aware of in the county comes anywhere close to that. There's a lot going on over there, is the bottom line. These are Franklin County citizens. They live here. They pay taxes here. They vote here. These are real folks. I'd like to invite each of you to come over and participate. Come over and see us. We do have a lunch every Thursday. Come over, have lunch with us, see what we're up to, see what your money is going for. On the 15th of June, the sheriff is coming over with his crew. They're going to do lunch. On the 24th of June, we're having a fundraising fish fry. We've been busy catching grouper, and sheep's head, and snapper, brim. We've got a couple of 100 pounds of fish. We're going to have a big fish fry, so come over, and we'd love to see you over for that. Any questions?
What is the date for the fish fry, the fundraiser?
24th of June.
Mike, would you put that on the county website so that
At noon, 12 o'clock.
at noon?
Yeah, 12 to the fish run out.
Well, June the 24th, so what is it?
June.
When do we
About
go
on
out of
Saturday?
town?
June 24th.
We go out of town that week, right?
Saturday, that's on a
Wait,
Saturday, ain't it?
Saturday?
Yes, sir.
I'll be there.
Thank you. Be looking forward.
And I'll have it mowed up for you.
We appreciate that too.
I mow you once a week.
And that's a good thing. We appreciate that.
Thank you for coming in this morning.
You're welcome.
The board will recess 5 minutes.
Like we couldn't wait, huh? You had to go.